A'ja Wilson 1, Nafisa Collier 2, Sabrina Ionescu 3, Breanna Stewart 4, Alyssa Thomas 5, and honorable mentions, Caitlin Clark.
Did you see what just happened? The WNBA MVP rankings came out, and Caitlin Clark isn't near the top. How is that possible? The rookie star, who's been breaking records and scoring big all season, isn't getting much attention. But here's where it gets interesting. A'ja Wilson, the current frontrunner, might be feeling some pressure. When you compare the numbers, Clark's impact on her team is huge. Let's break down why basketball fans are upset about this snub.
The WNBA in points generated, which means points scored and or points assisted on. She is leading the league by a significant margin, and she is doing this as a rookie with a Fever team that is not comprised of a bunch of all-stars.
Let's take a look at this MVP ladder because it's really shaking things up in the WNBA. At the top, A'ja Wilson is sitting at number 1. No surprises there, she's been dominating all season.
Debating it, if you even talk about MVP, you have to be like, well, of course A'ja Wilson's running away with it. Like, you cannot even have any kind of constructive conversation around MVP unless you preface it by saying, well, I already know that A'ja Wilson won. Like, that's the standard.
Next is Nafisa Collier, taking the second spot for the Minnesota Lynx. She controls the game whenever she's on the court, making a big impact. She's a quiet force who always makes her presence known.
Nafisa can take over the game at any point in time. We've seen her do this on multiple occasions.
Sabrina Ionescu is holding steady at number 3, though some might argue she shouldn't be, with Breanna Stewart and Alyssa Thomas rounding out the top 5. But hold on, where's Caitlin Clark, the rookie who's been lighting up the league? She's nowhere to be found in the top 5. Can you believe that?
Getting to the honorable mention, they have Caitlin Clark.
Wait, how can they put her in the honorable mention category? You might be thinking, this has to be a mistake, but nope, that's exactly how the MVP ladder looks right now. They even said this about Clark on their website.
Caitlin Clark. While the Fever underwent understandable woes in the first month of the season, Indiana is 14-6 over their last 20 games, including 2 massive wins coming out of the All-Star break. Clark has found a synergy with her teammates and elite comfort on the floor as a facilitator and creator. She's knocking on the door of first-team All-W and top 5 finish and MVP.
Did you hear that knocking on the door of the top 3? I don't think so. Caitlin Clark isn't just knocking, she should already be there. In fact, she deserves a spot in the top 3 for MVP alongside A'ja Wilson and Nafisa Collier, and the stats back this up.
A'ja wipes the floor with both of them. The only categories that she doesn't have are assists, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage. Caitlin has all of those. She is tied for steals with Nafisa.
Let's be real, A'ja Wilson was exceptional, no doubt about it. But Caitlin Clark, a rookie, outperformed her in key areas like assists, free throw percentages, and 3-point shooting. She even set the assist record. Clark's impact on the court was undeniable, proving she's anything but ordinary. So, why is she getting snubbed like this? It's leaving people scratching their heads. Some say it's because she's a rookie and the league favors established players, while others argue that individual stats don't tell the whole story. But one thing's for sure, Clark should definitely be in the conversation. This snub isn't going unnoticed. The controversy is heating up, with people like Rachel DePitter calling out the WNBA's MVP election process. She's saying that every time Clark raises her game, it feels like the standards for recognition keep changing. It's almost like they're setting impossible expectations for this rookie, making her work even harder to get the recognition she truly deserves.
Sure, she absolutely should be in the conversation.
Let's talk about rookie MVPs in the WNBA. Do you know how many there have been in the league's entire history? Just one. That's right. Only Candace Parker in 2008 has ever claimed that top spot. It's almost like there's an unwritten rule that first-year players can't be the most valuable. But why is that? Is it because they're too inexperienced, or is it just plain old veteran bias? Some argue that rookies shouldn't be in the MVP conversation, saying they need time to adjust and prove themselves. But look at what Caitlin Clark is doing. She's not just playing well for a rookie, she's playing well, period. And Skip Bayless sums it up perfectly.
For Caitlin continues to move. It's like the better she does, the further they move their expectations or what she would need to do to even be, like this article says, in the top.
Let's rewind to Candace Parker. Remember when she did the unthinkable? She didn't just win Rookie of the Year, she also snagged the MVP trophy. It was groundbreaking. Parker was averaging 18.5 points per game and dominating the court like a seasoned pro. Now, let's compare her stats with Caitlin Clark's, and trust me, this is going to blow your mind.
Everybody in the league can flick logo threes as effortlessly as Caitlin can. I'm sorry. It's gotten to the point where Rookie of the Year is over. All of a sudden, Caitlin Clark is starting to push A'ja Wilson for MVP of this league, and I am not exaggerating. She is starting to push A'ja as the best player in the league because I don't see anybody control a game the way Caitlin.
But here's where it gets crazy. Caitlin Clark isn't just matching Candace Parker's rookie season, she's setting new benchmarks in some areas. Her all-around game is off the charts. She's not just scoring, she's making her entire team better. And isn't that exactly what an MVP is supposed to do?
18.5 points per game. Caitlin is currently averaging more points than that. Candace has more rebounds by a solid amount. But look at these other stats. Caitlin is averaging more assists, more steals, more three-pointers per game, and a higher free throw percentage. Also, Candace Parker is not a point guard. She's a 4.
You might be thinking, okay, the stats are impressive, but there's more to being an MVP than just numbers, and you're absolutely right. The MVP isn't just about the best stats, it's about impact, leadership, and changing the game. That's where Caitlin Clark's story gets even more interesting. When you look at how she's transformed her team, the numbers only tell part of the story.
Right there, if not putting up better numbers than Candace did during her.
So, could Caitlin Clark repeat Candace Parker's feat? Could we see another rookie MVP this year? With the way she's playing, it's not just possible. It's forcing us to rethink what a rookie can achieve in this league. Are we ready to break down those old barriers and judge players purely on their impact, regardless of their experience? Clark's season is making us ask these questions, and the answers could change the WNBA forever. You might be thinking, can one player really transform an entire team? Well, that's exactly what Caitlin Clark did for the Indiana Fever. Before the All-Star break, the Fever were struggling big time, and fans were losing hope. But then, something incredible